We continue our Shiurim on Otzrot Chaim when Shaar Nekudim pereck Daf Ches. Amud Aleph. Where can I tell? We're just about to start the Zayin Malachim. So we spoke about so far about the Nekudim coming from the Anayim, and there were 10 Nekudim. So we spoke about the first 3, right? First 3 were able to Mekabel all, they didn't break. Now we're going to talk about one of the main sugyas in Kabbalah called the Zayin Malachim Shemesu. So we're going to name them, we're going to describe them a little bit, and then from now on we're going to get more into depth. So it is, we're going to start Kasher hayu sheva tachtonis kolurim b'may imam hayisham bebechinas mayim nukvim. You have the place?
Yeah.
You have it? Oh,
yeah.
okay. Okay, near the top, right. So v'kasher hayu sheva tachtonis kolurim b'may imam. We know that all everything fell and everything shattered and broke and destroyed and fell into the world of Bia, Bri Yetziasiya. Well, what was going to become the Bri Yetziasiya. Now, they came all back up. The Eibishter had Rachmanis, brought all the Shivrei Kelim back up, and he put them into the sphere of Bina, what you call Imam. Now, let's see that again. Which is the sphere of Bina, but there's only 3 that didn't go down. Is Kesef Chochma Bina. Hayusham bebechinas mayim nukvim moorim zivug ha'enyon shel Abba v'Ima. Oh, this actually we did this piece already about we did this piece about Aliyas Man. About the Aliyas Man. Okay, calls man. Okay, we'll just go over it quickly. The calls man that the bonim, the hainu, the zayin malachim went up to the sphere of bina, which is the and bonim. They were kilo ispalalim. They were me'or ima, and that's called an aliyas man. That's called aliyas man. Everything going from mitata li'or, that's called aliyas man. Omnam. Well, it's really not. We're omnam, but seis misham hashevet tachtois. שהם השבע מלוכים בארץ אדום שמסו ורוצו להיכנס בכלים שלהם לא יוכלו הכלים לסבולם ומסו ונשברו כמו שהסבר. So once they, remember, all the oil came in to the Keli of Keser, then the oil came in the Keli of Chochmah, then the oil came in the Keli of Bina, perfectly fine. Once the oil left Ima, which is Bina, and went into the Keli of Das, it shattered. Went into the Keli of Chesed, it shattered, until Malchus, the all came into the Keli of Malchus, also shattered, and all the shattered vessels went into out of the world of Atzilus, and into the new world. So where they weren't created yet, but they were going to become created, and that's called.
How does this Abba Ve'ima come in again?
Abba Ve'ima, again, he makes it confusing because not Abba Ve'ima, there's no Patzufim yet,
yes,
but rather it's Chochma Bina. Chochma Bina.
This is before they even came out the first time. Before they were Nichla, they were all the Kreichas were Nichla and Bina at that time. And
the way it happened was, again, that the Eser Kelim came out, right? And they came out from the Enayim. They all went down below the Tibor Hak, and they settled there. That's going to be the world now. Tibor Hak Ulimata. That's going to be the world of Atzilus. Then the oil came out, one big oil, which had included all oils. And then they went into the Keli of Keser. He was able to hold all 10 oils. And then 9 chalokim of that oil, which is Chochmah, until Malchus went into the Keli of Chochmah. Was able to makabel them, and then it went into Bina, which she's calling Chochma Bina, which she's calling Abba Ve'ima, but Abba means Chochma Bina, and then it went into Das and then started.
At that point, it's in the Shiur Zivuga Elyon.
Yeah, once it's in the Maya Ima, that's Mo'orel them to Mezavik. We'll speak about that.
Yeah, but it didn't stay there except for that case, except for the
of Bina, right?
You know?
Right.
And the rest of the who was being Ma'or?
They were before they left the Keli of Bina, they were Mo'orel this Aliyas Man.
From what? So the man is going from where to where?
It's going Minubay. It's going from Ima and upwards. Right? Just like a woman feels her her baby, she's a pregnant woman, feels the child's oirus, the child is not well, she senses what the baby's feeling. So they were more feelings of his oirus in Ima, which leads obviously to a zivuk with Abba, and then Shefa to come out. So let's continue. ולכן הביאה בתחילה סדר 7 מלוכים האלו. כי הנה הם מן הדס ולמטה.
Sorry, so they went into their kelim, and the kelim they yochel l'sovlam.
You're right, and they all crashed.
Why? Why was that?
Why? Because it makes sense to say that a keli can mekabel one or, but to mekabel 7 times the power of the keli, that was too much for them.
It was a chiddush that the first 3 managed to.
Yeah, that was a chiddush, because they were working together. They were working the actors between the Ken and Chochmah Bina, so that triad worked together. They were a bit differently, because if you look at Ket and Chochmah Bina, you had Ket over here, Chochmah to the right, and Bina to the left. That means that was the yesod of Gimel Kam. Gimel Kam is the yesod of Tatsufin. You have miskala, that's what the Zohar says. You have a scale. They were balancing the weight. They knew the limits, and then they would pass over. Mashenkin, the design tachton were all mechad samcha, one on top of the other. All of them malochim. I want to mekabel all the. I can do it myself. Okay, give it to me. Crash.
Hagama Kesed is nice and Kabbalah everything, but it's with the.
That's it. It's working with the Gimel Kabbalah. It's working in Bitsura the Gimel Kabbalah. Yeah.
The last stage when the Oyer Malchus went out to Yesod into the Keli of Malchus, was that also a crash?
Yeah, Malchus died.
Over there it's only one Oyer.
Oh, okay. So the Rashash asked this question as well. So what's pshat in Malchus? Actually, the Arizal asked this question.
No. If Chesed crashed, then the all the 7 koiches went to Gevurah. Not just 6 went to Gevurah, 7. So each one tried to cover everything, including Malchus tried to cover everything.
That's not.
It's not pshat.
No, it's not pshat. But you're on the right lines, though. Yeah. But the all Chesed flew up, and the other ones naturally went to the next cave. So 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 1. So he's asking at the end of the day, Malchus. Why should Malchus break? All Malchus mekabel is all Malchus. We'll speak about that. We'll speak about it later on. Yeah, I think that Arizal asked this question. Okay, now, so let's name. Das is the first one that broke. Chesed, Gvura, Tiferes, Netzach, Hod, Hem Tchei Palgi Gufa.
That's how to get them.
Yeah, they are one. Now,
Why Das is first? Chesed should be first. What's going on here?
Why should Chesed be first?
Because it's the first of the Zayin Tachtonis.
Correct. We'll see more than that. We'll see later on. Das is not even mentioned later on. It's interesting because usually Das is part of what we call the mochim, the intellect, the right brain, left brain, the middle brain. The middle brain is considered to be like the Das, and that we know the mochim didn't break. They were working together. Especially Das. Das is only a tziruf of the right and left, right brain, left brain. It's not even a tziruf b'fnei atzmo. So the Chalal, what the Mefarshim asked this question as well. Right? So they asked this question, then what is Das? Why did it break? So the Keren Shlomo says, Be'etzem Das, at this point in time, really was, because Das is sort of a sphera which is part of the top and part of the bottom. The Hainu, it's a combination of Chochmah and Bina, and it takes the koiches of Chochmah and Bina, which we call the Chug, Chasodim and Gvuros, and then it's mispashed down. It gives nourishment to the rest, to your right arm, left arm, gives nourishment. So the Acher, you could look at it for Ket, that the Das is the Kes of the Zayin Tachtonim. They call it the Nishmas of Vak. But Be'etzem, depends where you look at. If you look from top and down, you see that Das is part of the Roshim. Ma'ashe'enken, it's also working as a representation, is representing the Zayin Tachtonim. So, at this stage, the Keren Shlomo wants to say it's considered to be this way. We'll look at that he's more part of the Tachtonim than Elyonim.
So it's going to be turned on that whether you count Netzach and Hoy together or not?
No. Netzach and Hod are always counted as one.
Always.
Always. Always. Tchei Palga de Gufa. When we count them, usually we don't count them. We just say that's a mitzvah. There's a Netzach here and there's a Hod here. But if you're going to count them as spheres, then it is it's one sphere. And I saw a nice marshal attack in this in the Piska Sha'arim. Talmud of the Gaon. He says over there, what's pshat? Why Dafka the right leg and the right Netzach is the right leg, holds the left leg? Why is those considered? Why not the right arm, the Chesed and the Gufa? Why is not Tchei Palga the Gufa? Why is the right leg and left leg more Tchei Palga, two sides of the same coin, as opposed to the right arm and left arm? So he says that it's not as a marshal that whatever we see in this world, it works for the spiritual world, right? So in the same way that a person can do two different things with two different arms, right? I can turn the pages and have a drink of water at the same time, right? I can do two different things. With your legs, you can't do two different things. It's interesting, isn't it? When you walk, you can't walk with one leg. Either it's doing nothing, or it's going to be doing something with the other leg. So it's always working in correspondence to the other leg. That's why it's Tchei Palga de Gufa. They always have to be used together.
But it says somewhere in Yechezkel that the Malachim have only one leg, no?
Say there, it's two legs put together.
Yeah, I'm saying, you can see the same Indian that's there also.
So you do count them. You see Vav K'tzavos, you with Netzach.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Zayin spheres.
Vav K'tzavos, we count them as Vav K'tzavos. Vav K'tzavos. And here we're saying that Tchei Palga de Gufa, Tchei Palga de Gufa. Yeah, I think it's just Loshen B'nei Adam. We just to group them together, we say there's a difference between the Gan and the Vak. Right? The first top three are we call the Mochim, the most important, the intellect, and then Masha Enkin, the bottom ones are called the Vak, the bodily spheres. But that's just the way of speaking. But in actuality, it's one sphere.
Loshen Zunias, Kelm started also saying Netzach B'Hoit. They seem to say in the same line.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's a line from the Python. Okay, so let's continue. So we're going to get more into depth into the Shiur now. First, we're going to count them. Now, I wish you all that we have a bit different girsa. There's a few different malachim which are missing in your tfusim over here in Otzrot Chaim. I think number 6 and number 4, a few different. But in the Etz Chaim, in the Etz Chaim puts it together. So I'm going to put in. I'll be reading that in while we're reading. Okay. Now, first of all, we understand what is taka this mitzvah malachim shemeisu. Malachim shemeisu. So be'etzah, where do they come from? And what was the whole tafkid of all this? So, Malachim Shemeisu, I'll just read you a line here that he's written here as an ekdama. V'hine, Malachim Shemolchu be'eretz Edom nafsham yotzu misigi akelim shel Shevet hachtorim de kedusha shel oilam hanekudim v'noflu l'olam b'riya. Because we have to understand one thing. We're saying that these heilige spheres have to do with Malachim of Edom, Malchei Edom. Oh, what's the shaykhs between them? Achlaf. Goyish.
Zelo Masech. Kedusha connected.
Goyish kings and says that.
You expect to get Thomas and that.
Yeah, what's the Goyish kings? Grove kings. Let's do with that. It's not only that, the whole ganze avodas Hashem is based on this, on these Zayin Malachim. It's not Stama and Agave. There's no other reason why you're here, but to do aliyas of these berurim is called the aliyas of these kelim, shiva kelim. This is it. This is the whole Indian. We're going to speak more about this. Okay, so let's go. But down. Ki elu hem inyan hamalachim and iskom b'parshas vayishlach. So you look at the. I think about Shishi. There's list out all the names of the Malachim. Mamash Mesuda, right? The problem is if you look in Divrei Yomim, they also, you ever notice that? Also in Divrei Yomim, they also mention the names of the Malachim, except in a different order. Now, that's a bit of a problem, because if you're going to take each order, each melech, and give it a name of a sphera, you can't really change the order, because then you change the names of the spheres. So the Mepharshim speak about this. The Leshem, there's also a Rav Shalom over here, and they say, interesting enough, that there's two sets of malachim, just to complicate things a bit more. Two sets of malachim. Now, what we're referring to over here is the malachim of Ze'ampin. I always mention this, that all our avodah, everything that we are, Torah mitzvahs, is focusing on the building up of one passive called Ze'ampin. Ze'ampin, and Mimela Nuk, which is underneath, the wife list. The wife of Ze'ampin is going to be built automatically. Okay? She, by the way, you have to know, she also has a malachim. She has a set of Zayin Malachim for herself.
Is that the third one or that's the second?
Second one. Zayin Malachim of Zah, which is Nogea to our avoidum. That's what we're going to be fixing out. And by the way, she, the Malchus, or the Nuk, the Zah, also has Zayin Malachim Shemeisu. So the ones we find Parshas Vayishlach, and that's the diuk over here, be Parshas Vayishlach, as opposed to Parshas in Divrei Yomim. And Divrei Yomim, there it speaks about the Zayin Malachim of Nuk the Zah, which we don't go into. Okay? Ve'elo malachim asher molchu be'etz Edom. That's Edom. This is the remes. Edom is red. It's dinim. It's dinim. These malachim taku be'tzoras dinim. We get the dinim. Ve'zeh b'chotem. Now, before we get to the b'chotem, let's just explain. These malachim, the way it worked like this. The spheres that came off in the 9 dark. Now, in these spheres, why Taka Be'etzim they died? I think there's 14 different reasons Be'etzim given in Otzrot Chaim. 14 different reasons why it came. All different reasons, but stammer, if you're a person of Chochem, you can put all these reasons together, which I haven't been Zohar to. So now, one of the reasons given is that these spheres had inside them some kivyochel, some impurities. It's called sigim, some impurities. The Eibishter wanted to cleanse them of these spheres. So a mashal we can understand is a kli cheres. How do you imitate kli cheres? By the shvira. So they had this impurity, this tumor in this keli, and the way to cleanse it was to break it. This tumor that came out, let's call it sigim. Those are the malachim of Edom. They were licked mamish, not that they were taka these spheres, but rather they were the sigim shabo, and they came out from that. So we can't say the mamish. What we're talking about, what we're saying that we're touching them up as tuma or impurities or whatnot. We're talking about coming out from the eyes of Ak, so they couldn't be that bad at the end of the day, right? They were the kodesh kadoshim. But klapi, the etzem sphira as well, the etzem sphira, they are considered to be sigim. So that's the ganze zach with that.
Well, after the oil, what happened after it wasn't the couple, then the oil went up.
The oil went up,
and what's left is
that's right. The keli broke. The height of the keli, which chelik of the keli went down. That's what we call malchis the ben, whatever, and that went down, and that is the zayin malachim. That we're referring to. Those are the sigim, and they fell in not only to purify the keli, but also to create an avoider. Two tafkidim. First of all, to sakin the keli, sakin the svira. Now you have the sigim which are out of the keli. So now we have one part is to rebuild them, and part and parcel of that avoider is to raise up the chalakim of kedusha, which is down in bia, and to bring them up and to reattach them back to the other chalakim, which then break. So we didn't have that. We didn't have an avodah Hashem. So these sigim created the ra in the world, which was mixed together with the kedusha, which also fell there. So we look at it as klipas. So you see a lot of times this word klipas. The height of the kedusha is within the klipa, and through the avodah Hashem, Torah mitzvah, it cracks the klipa and takes out this kedusha. But what do we see it as? We see it as yitzar toiv. It gives us a possibility to have a milchama between these two koiches, which not only we have in this world, we have inside of us as well. It's called klipas noga. And this avoid of separating the good and bad, that's what it's all about. That's why this had to happen. Is that clear or was that too confusing?
So those kelim, say they rebuild as kelim. So has to be
Eventually they're going to be rebuilt as kelim, and then eventually they're going to grow into what's called the partzuf, into partzufim. That's the ultimate tikkun.
And the oil? Where's the oil?
And the oil is in part and parcel. Right now it's hanging mitli in the sphere of chokhmah, in the sphere of bina, those spheres that didn't break. And the shattered design tachtoinim, they fell down and they created everything that we see in this world, which is a mixture of Torah and Ra.
So first thing's some sack in the key, because then before that, otherwise the oil can't come back in.
Yeah, the kula b'basach is we sack in the keli, we vile, we do the berurim, we separate the Torah Ra, that gives us a bechira, and by doing that, we're also in the sack in the keli. Yeah.
Not clear. What broke and what died?
What broke?
Yeah, what broke, what died, what...
I don't want to get too specific because it gets very specific later on. Let's talk in general. The keli of das broke.
Before you said that the oil broke, but the keli was...
No. In every keli, you have oil.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So when the
keli
oil...
broke.
Yeah, when the oil, which included 7 oils...
Okay,
right?
when the keli broke.
All flew up.
One oil flew up.
Yeah, one oil, the oil das, flew up because it felt that his keli wasn't there. I had to find some other place. It goes up.
Right.
All the other oils go into the chesed. In the meantime, this shatters and breaks and goes down into a world which is called...
So what is the sigim and what is not the sigim?
Oh, so what I'll explain is that it wasn't so posh like that. Not the entire keli. We're talking about the sigim shabo. The sigim shabo, that's where this inyan of the zay malachim.
The sigim shabo broke, but the rest of the keli didn't.
Sorry, let me make this clear. The entire keli broke.
Right.
Okay? Now there's a chelik which is toiv, a chelik which is ra.
Yeah.
Okay? So the sigim shabo is the chelik ra,
Yeah.
and the toiv shabo is the rest of the keli. Yeah. They all fell down. And our job is now to separate the sigim from the chelik of toiv.
Yeah.
And to bring it back up.
So the oil fell down or it went up?
Sorry?
The oil fell down or the oil went up?
No, the oil went up. We're never talking. The oil can never
talk
go
about it. We're talking about the...
Only the keli. And in the keli there are sigim, impurities.
So everything broke. So why does it say in Torah that Berab and the oil broke?
Yeah.
It's not only the sigim which broke, it's also the chelik hatov which broke.
That's right. That's right. Because the Torah, you don't see everything from the Torah. The Torah doesn't go into all the details.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you have the Mefarshim, and then you have Kabbalah, which gives you the deeper understanding of what's going on exactly.
Right.
So the sigim will remain below them, isolated and void, and then will come back up. I mean, once we've been vara all the toiv.
Eventually everything is going to turn into toiv.
Because the sigim was part of the tachlis.
Yeah, again, these sigim are all relative to what's really up there, because when we talk about the Anayim Da'ak, we're talking right next to the Ensof, right? We're talking about quite high up, very, very high spiritual levels there. So everything is relative over here. But when it finally comes down, it's megalgil into the situation of Tovah. It'll become more clear as we go along. So let's continue. Now, what's the first name of the king? The first king is called Bela ben Baal. Bela ben Baal, who saw the dance. This is the dance. Now, so what's the connection with Bela ben Baal and so the dance? What's the Kavahu de'atircha ki Bilam hu Bela. So we know that Chazal tell us that Bilam is Taka, the first king. Do you know that? Kamama Chazal. What?
Ben Baal.
Ben Baal, right. Now, how do we know that? Because it's in Chazal. Which Chazal? So, I can't remember where I found this, but I found the Targum Rebbe Yosef. Must have been when I was looking at the Divrei Yomim and the Zay Malachim. There, he says as well. He says that Bilam ben Baal, the Targum says over there, is Bilam. I think that's what the Chazal is. V'hu soda das. Soda das. Asher al Kain hayashokul be'umas ha'olam k'Moshe b'Yisrael. לפי שמויסר רבינו עליו השלום היה בכינס דס עליון דאבא וזה. וזה עניין ויודע דס עליון. הנאמר בבילם. וכן מה שנאמר בחז"ל על הפוסק, לא קם נובי עוד בישראל, לא קם, בישראל לא קם, אבל באומס העולם קם.
The diuk is from the Hemshech of the Pasuk, actually Yudoi, Ponim, Yudoi, Loshen Das.
Oh yeah?
No, that's it, Shamas.
That's good, right? Right. Shaila is like this. A more obvious question is that if Bilam, if we make a cheshbon, Bilam was in which time? Moshe Rabbeinu's time. And when was Zayim Elohim? Which time?
Yaakov and Esau.
Later.
Much later. So how can it be that Bilam was one of the Malachim?
Well, we say that
Zayim Elohim lived way before Moshe Rabbeinu, right?
It says לפני מלך מלך.
And the Melech, the first Melech Yisrael was who?
Shalom.
Was Moshe Rabbeinu.
So it could have been.
It was Moshe Rabbeinu. Maybe Shiur.
Rashash says before Shaar.
It says that Lavan was Bilam.
Yeah.
That's what it said.
Yeah.
Arizal says it. Yeah, that's how it went.
Okay, so I already said he was an old man, but...
He's old man, it's the Ox steers.
Yeah, but Yom HaTzbala, that's the problem.
We're trying not to make a steer. We're trying to be Yashiv.
The Morashach got cut off. The Gemara says in Sanhedrin he only lived 33 years.
33 years old, that's right.
So Morashach, how could he be one of the advisors of Paroi and Bilal? Kashas.
Okay.
Well, they fought him. I'm saying in the Pasuk. The Pasuk said they killed Bilam right at the end.
Yeah.
He only lived till 33. How could he be the advisor of Paroi Mitzrayim? There's 40 years between them. So I'm saying without this, you've got Kash anyway. Bilam is.
Okay. Also, wherever we can be Yashiv, we can be Yashiv. So I'm going to tell you Keren Shlomo. It's very interesting here. He asks this Kash Vim Tova. Ze haya b'mei Moshe Rabbeinu. V'ze haya koidem kama ma'ois shonim. The Malachim that we're speaking about were hundreds of years before that. So what's Pshat? He says, no, the kilo chai bilam rosha ki'im lamed gimel shonim. We only those shul chazal. The pasuk lo yechotzu miyemeim. V'akosav omer kilo ki kol elo malachim asher molchu hem lifnei melech malach b'nei Yisrael. V'melech harishon shahai b'Yisrael hu haya Moshe Rabbeinu alav hashem. Yachsi v'ahi b'shur melech. ואם כן, איך יתרץ שבלה בן בואו הוא בעצמו בילם הרשע. ולזה כוסר, and this is what the Arizal writes, והוא בסוד דס דקליפה. זה פשוט דס דקליפה. רוצה לומר, כי נשמה זו שלקחה בילם הרשע, הייצה מצד דס דקליפה, right, you have כתר חוכם בינה, דס is quite high up, ודס דקליפה עצמו נקרא בשם בלה. Or Bilam. The name of this klipa is called Bela or Bilam. V'kol mi sheyoresh neshama zu mitzad das de klipa nikra b'shem Bela. Anybody who has this particular shorish and neshama from this klipa gets the name Bela because that is the name of it. Al shem das de klipa. L'chein ha-melech shehaya b'yomim ahem שהוא המלך הראשון בארץ אדום, נקרא בשם בלה, על שם הנשמה שלו. Not that was his real name, but rather, we're calling him לפי שורש הנשמה שלו. נקרא בשם בלה משום שהוא מצד הדס דקליפה. נמצאנו שנשמה זו יורש אויסר בילום הרשע. Right, of course it's not Bilam. Bilam lived much later on. But rather we're talking לפי the neshama. The first king is called Bela ben Baal, not because that's his name, but rather that's the name of his neshama. That's the shorish of neshama. And Bilam, which lived many hundreds of years later on, was Yorish, this neshama, and that's why his name was Bilam, Harasha. Al Shema Nikol b'Shem Bilam. Ki neshama zu, o hanitzus shelo nisgalgel kamen noshim, Bilam, Bilovan, or Bilam, or Ben Nobel Karmi. How can like you said, it steals in Chazal. How can you say that Lavan was the father of Bilam? Hello, kama shonim yesh min zeh v'zeh, ela nishmas Bilam tchila haisa Bilavan. Lavan had the neshama of Bilam. V'achika nizgaga beBilam. Amipnei shekodem Lavan v'lakra kodem Bilam lezeh nikra aviv shel Bilam. That's why it's called the aviv shel Bilam, because he had the same shorosh and neshama. B'sof dava ki adam nikra al shem neshama shelo. A person is actually called if he's neshama. So everybody has a name, but that's more be'etzim really on his neshama, the shorosh of the neshama. ולכן כאן גם כן המלך הראשון דאדום היה נשמוסו מצד דס דקליפה, כמו נשמס בילם הרשע. הממין אחד הם, ולכן אומר חז"ל בלה זהו בילם. Chazal didn't mean that it's actually the same person, but rather the sheir, תולו נשמוסו כמו נשמס בילם. ולזה הוא צריך לפרש הרב, מה חז"ל, מה שרוצה לומר, בלה שהוא בילם. But is it kosev shu das the klipa, because that's the tzad shav between them, and that's how we know that it's that the first king is keneged das. Okay, that's an interesting klal, and then he continues. So that is the first king. The second king is who? How are we doing for time here? Now, second king is Yuvav. I think it's Yuvav. No? Yuvav. Yeah. Hu a chesed. V'zu ben zerach. Zu ben zerach, ki hu b'b'chinas ha'chesed nikra or kanod. Okay, not very much information here, but it's considered to be ben zerach. The Ainu is doimet to chesed. Chesed is also doimet to or, which is mispashet. That is that. V'chusham hu, the third king is Chusham hu ha'gvura, the third king that broke. Ki hu sod chamish gvuras. Now Chusham is
Chamish Yisodos.
It's a mistake.
What?
Gevuras I've got here.
I have you said Gevuras, yes. The
I
third.
got Gevuras in my
Yeah, I've got it ticket here.
Very good. Yeah. Who sold Chamish Gevuras? How do we know that it's Keneged? His name, this particular king is Keneged 5 Gevuras, because if you look at the letters of his name, V'oisios Cheshin Mem Hem Chamish. Okay. Now, the Sofer Tevas, the Pasuk says, Chushim Me'eretz HaTemani. Now, if you look at the last letters, it spells Shin, Sadi, Yud. Who, it spells the word mitz.
Mem,
Sadi, Yud, it spells the word mitz, Jews. Now, Rosh Tevas of that pasuk is Ches, Mem, Hey, which spells Chema, right, butter. Who saw the pasuk ki mitz cholov yoytze chema. Yoytze chema. There it's spelled with the aleph chema. We have it without the aleph. And he answers ki matzinu kosov chose aleph chema. Because we find it's not don't slug up my pshat over here, says Arizal, because I'll find you places in Chazal that you spell chema without an aleph. And in brackets, Amar Meir Papirish, Rav Meir Papirish is one of the Mesadrim of the Otzrot Chaim. He interjects, he finds you this Chazal. Kein hu be'eyuv, b'chotz halechai b'chema. Right? He washed his, Eyuv was so rich, he was able to wash his feet with butter. So you see that butter there, chema is spelled without an aleph. So there's your Chazal. V'hem b'chinas chamish gevuras. Right, with this chusham that we're talking about is chamish gevuras. Shehem dam, because we know in damim, hichos damim, in Nida, there's 5 different types of damim, and that's what he's referring to. Chamish gevuras is dinim, is damim. V'nehafchim dam be'etzim by woman is mehafchi bebetem meleya lecholov. The cholov, right? So the dam becomes cholov. Also a mitz, that means we're referring to the cholov shabo naseh achema, because so when you make the cholov it turns into chema. Lahachil esatina. You like this drasha?
Is that last bit?
Yes, that's what drasha.
Mm.
Right. So what is he saying? But that's the chamish gevuras is started with the hey damim, because it's gevuras, which is damim, which turns into cholov, which turns into chema. and that Besof was going to make the machal for the tinuk. Okay.
Why is chema la'achel as a tinuk?
You asked me on the dush.
Yeah.
In Shalom on the dush.
It should be cholav. You don't need to come on to the chema.
Chema, because he said the sofa the sofa tables is chema. It's not the Rosh tables is chema.
No, I just asked you on Metzius. I mean,
what about the Metzius?
The tinuk doesn't have cholav.
Yeah, the tinuk doesn't mean afka.
It's like chema for the tinuk.
It's an oichel, yeah. It's opposed to shtia. The shtia was the mitz. Mitz was the cholav, and then beside you can make chema, which is from the Rosh tables, which is the oichel. Okay, let's go. Now 5, the king number 4. You don't have it, but in Otzrot Chaim, his name is Hadod ben Bedad. Who b'tiferes Amel Ravi nirmaz b'shem Bedad ben Bedad. Ki hadodim shel Odom hem b'tiferes. So with the Dodim, let's say the name is Dodim, where is it found? The remez is he's Tiferes. It's because the Dodim are found in the Tiferes. That's number 4. Number 5 is, again, you don't have this, but in Otzrot Chaim says Samla mimas reka. And here, number 5 is Keneged Netzach L'Hod, the Tchei Palga de Gufa. Okay, now you have them brackets? Okay, number 6, the king 6, the Shol Me'ochovas Anah.
Do we know why he's Netzach L'Hod? No Muslim or anything like that, he's just telling us.
Yeah, doesn't say what. No.
Okay.
He's trying to some work, he covers himself with a
Well, he does give a pshat. He gives a pshat over here in the Zohar state that samla is a simla, is a beged, and we know that the netzach hod are malbish the higher partsufim. That's the remez here. 6, king number 6, melech shishi v'shol v'chovas anah. Who yesod? Shol is keneged the yesod. Shol daticha. I already told you. Well, I will tell you actually in parts in Shaar Zun. Ki hi atorah shel yesod habina hamizrach cheves v'nikar chovas anah. V'rosh teves shol v'chovas anah hu Moshe. V'hu sod ha'yesod shel Abba kenoda. So first of all, you understand in the yesod, Sfirsa yesod, it's split up into 2 parts. Actually 3 parts, but for this to just understand this, it's 2 parts. You have the main yesod, and the besov you have what's called the ateres yesod. Now, by a nukva, her ateres yesod is all cheves. It's bina. Yesod the bina by a nukva, it's different from the Zohar. Her yesod is a cheves. That means an outpouring of shefa comes out from the yesod of bina. And besides that, he's telling you that the Rosh Tevos, the Sholem, the Chovas Anah is Moshe Rabbeinu.
He's saying in different it doesn't say Chovas Anah, it says Chovas.
Yeah, because that's talking a different set of Malachim, we said.
I'm saying that's the Nukva ones.
Sorry?
That's the Nukva ones. So
that's right. That's right. Now, what's interesting over here, seems to be saying that Yesod is Keneged Moshe Rabbeinu. And earlier it said Moshe Rabbeinu is Keneged Das. So what's going on here? Yesod shel Abba. And he says, who sod?
Das comes from the Yesod shel Abba.
Das comes
from the Yesod shel Abba.
How's that? What's Das of the
Yesod of Abba? That's where the Das of Zah comes from.
Where's the Ima? Does you have Ima between them?
But it comes from Abba and Ima, no? Was it only from Ima? Oh.
On those lines, yes, on those lines. So the answer is, we're asking if Moshe Rabbeinu is Keneged Das, right? How can he say that he's Keneged Yesod of Abba? The answer is that, as he was mentioning, that we have Yesod HaLbosha, that the lower parts is always malbish the higher parts of by the Nai. So if you look by the Halbosha, Hashem will do it on paper, you'll see that the das of the lower partsuf is malbish the higher partsuf, and the das will mamish be keneged the yesod of the higher partsuf. Abba's in Ima, and Ima goes out, and Abba goes out into das. That's the Halbosha. Weiter. V'shol melech b'bchina zu shel yesod. V'zeh shekotz v'shol, let's try to finish off the pereck. V'hine hu nechma el hakelim. Nichbal Kelim. He was hiding behind the Kelim. Remember the story there when they said that Shaul, you're going to be the king. Shmuel said, yeah, he went hiding behind the Kelim. Pirush ki kasher nishbu Kelim shel ve'elu Malachim. Kemo shiva b'zat Hashem kol ha'oros nistalku mehem v'nisharu memayin tvirim. That's all that he says in Hebrew, right? The all went up, nistalke, the all went up, and the Kelim taka broke. You're left with broken Kelim. But what kept these Kelim alive, as we'll speak about more in details later on, it's called the Rafach Netzutzos, kept the Kelim along. Kemosh is back. Now the seventh king, I don't know if you have this, you have the seventh king? Baal Hanan ben Achbor. Who are Malchus? Now we're going to go back to this sixth king. Omnam, Bekeli Shel Yesod, which we said was Shaul, Nishar, all Echad, Zulas, Bechinas, Rafach Netzutzim. Now, interesting enough, everything what happened again, the process was very simple. The all came in, crashed, the Keli crashed, the Keli fell down, and the all went up, except was one exception, except for the spheres of Yesod. In this sphere of Yesod, it kept a bit of the light with it, besides the Rafach Netzutzim. And what was the purpose of keeping the light in Yesod? This is very important. In order to keep the Malchus alive. Because Malchus didn't have anything of his own. Nisha Sham in Yesod hu b'chinis Shol hanichva Sham bekil Yesod. That was the Yesod of what he was actually doing. Mashlo Nishar came bekili acher. So in Yesod, they had a special light there, not for itself, but rather to be meir on the Keli of Malchus, which fell down in order to keep the Keli of Malchus alive. And that's exactly what Shaul was doing. He was hiding amongst the Kelim, not for himself, but rather for the tzorech of the Malchus. Not that his shos and neshama was in the Malchus, but rather b'schus, that he was doing for the Malchus, he was zoichet to Malchus. The fisa shehaya, the eisa shvira or misa nikra loshon mitzchaber, hiding. Kimina rui haistale gam hu, the or actually should have came out of Yesod. V'nisha sham b'achbo, b'echbe. V'haisa tzibulu tzorch Malchus kenizga. Why did he do that? Why did the Yesod, the Keli Yesod, keep hidden this light in order l'tzorch Malchus kenizga? Lachein zoch shol lemelucha ki kavanoso haisa leir ela Malchus kenizga. That's why. Hagam that his sholosh neshama wasn't like David the Melech in the sholosh of the Malchus, but rather because he was Mesuras Nefesh and kept the all mamash, that everything, his whole tafkid in life was only for the Malchus. That's why he was zocher to the Malchus. But haven't they hated?
Assuming the Malchus hasn't got Megarma Klum, no Iris got no
Keli one.
You say it doesn't even have a Rapach.
It's less. We'll speak about Malchus. It's very exceptional. Yeah.
So you're saying the Malchus doesn't even have Rapach?
It seemed to hear from Mashma it's not that Malchus, but we know it does.
So you have to. There must be different
different
thing
levels,
which it doesn't have.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if it has Rapach,
then what does it need? No, it's Vaisach is Rapach is not enough. It needs this extra or to keep
stronger.
Something felt in the Keli.
Does that mean all of them have something extra which we don't know about?
Oh. I think there's a lot of things we don't know about. Okay, so Shem, next week we'll start the next pereck. What? Haben Sie?
Haben Sie hated, yeah.
Haben Sie, yeah.
We should. It's a shame.
I know,
Okay, culture.